Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Satsang 2025. 2025 sounds like a better number than 2024.
Does it?
Except that this 2025 is a 9 number.
Okay.
And 9's about endings. Normally a challenging number for most people because you've got to finish off cycles, unfinished business. So tonight we're going to be looking at navigating 2025. So welcome back. Thank you for being with us tonight. Please just type up in the comments section who you are and where you're watching from so that we know who we're talking to, that we're not just talking to a blank space. And we have a live audience with us tonight. And if you have any questions or comments for us as we go, please type them up. And we love getting the hearts. Thank you.
Yeah, please tell us where you're coming from, where you're watching from, that we know who's here.
And also, if you value what we have to share, if you can press the like button and the share button. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do so. Also, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, you go to journeysofawakening.com and join our WhatsApp group where we put the information out of what we've got coming up. We do have a few retreats and we've got an online course starting on the 5th of February. What date is it? 5th of February.
Wednesday, yeah.
Thank you and welcome. And, just wait here.
Okay, hi Viv, hello Mandy. Just wait for a few more people to join. That's great. It's good to have you with us. Emma, hi Emma. Visiting home for a while in Cape Town. It's great, welcome. Hi Diane. Lovely to have you with us too. Awesome.
Just check the connection there to see what we're on.
Okay.
Good. All right, let's start this year in the satsang by centering ourselves into the most sacred place that there ever is, and that's the present moment. So often overlooked by the mind, we make the world of form and the world of time more important than the world of presence. And presence is the only time we're alive, the only time we intersect with life is in what we call the vertical plane, which is the now, the eternal now. So gently settle back. Hopefully you've made yourself comfortable. We always light a candle. We've got a candle here. And set the intention to relieve yourself from the confines of the thinking mind, even just for a little while, and experience the liberation of your true being, because that's what the journey of awakening is all about. It's a liberation. It's a journey of surrendering what we are not to discover what we are. So to settle back in your chairs or your bed or your floor or wherever you're sitting or lying and just connect with the breath of life. While we get caught up in the world of situations, relationships, doing this, it only takes one breath taken with awareness to recenter us back into reality, into presence. So let's just take a soft, gentle in-breath now, deep into the solar plexus. And the most important part of the breath is the surrendering, the letting go, and the sinking deeper into the stillness of this moment, the quietness of this moment. Take another very deep breath in. And then that beautiful, long, surrendering out breath. And just sink into the emptiness of this moment. Take a third, very deep breath in. Deep, deep, deep. Right down to the toes this time. And breathe out. Just become aware of your hands, where they're resting right now. Become aware of the center of your palms in your hands. See if you can feel the chi, the life force, the energy in the center of your hands, in the palms of your hands. In order to do that, you have to withdraw your mind from your story, withdraw your mind from all of the times and all of the places, and just become fully present in your hands. And see if you can feel the warmth in your palms right now. And notice what happens within your awareness as you focus on the sensation of the chi in the middle of your hands. This is the energy of life. We hurt ourselves, we generally put our hands on that place. If a child takes a tumble, we pick it up and put our hands on the awi. There is such an incredible power in the center of our palms of healing. And we open that tap to that healing power when we are present. So let's just take a moment or two to center ourselves and to be aware of this energy in our hands. And one of the ways of opening the tap to this power of life, power of presence, is with a feeling in our hearts of gratitude. So we're starting a new year from our Gregorian calendar point of view. And we're starting this evening's satsang by being centered in the awareness of the energy in the middle of our palms of our hands. And let's put the ingredient of gratitude into the awareness of this energy in the center of our palms, and also as an intention for the year ahead. Because gratitude is such a powerful awareness to hold, which connects us directly to presence, to life, to the divine, to the sacred essence of being. So while we hold this energy in our palms, we maybe like to visualize an energy, a light, a flame of gratitude in our palms. As I said, you may feel it as a warmth, as a tingle. Gratitude just for this moment, for the awareness of life in this moment, for your conscious presence here and now. And let us use the power of intention to send this light, this energy from the center of the palms of our hands out into the world to be the healing balm for anyone you know right now who might be in a state of turmoil, fear, anxiety, challenge, or in need of physical healing. Let's metaphorically put our hands on those around us and share this energy from the center of our palms, the energy of presence of life, with gratitude, being the energy of transmission. Not trying to fix, but just offering up this beautiful energy of gratitude, of life, for life, in this moment, here and now. And let's take this energy from the center of our palms and extend it out into the broader community, to our countries, to the leaders, to the land, to the air, to the seas, to the plants, to the birds and the animals, the fishes and the insects. Let's just hold this beautiful, beautiful Mother Gaia in a bubble of light, with gratitude for her magnificence and her abundance. Bring your awareness back to the breath, taking a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just radiate this beautiful healing energy from the center of your palms into the world. That we meet in our conscious awareness in this moment. Feel the power, the energy of peace held in the palms of your hands right now. A peace that transcends story. And from the center of our hands, we offer that out into the world. A peace that passes all human understanding. A peace of the divine essence of being. The one being. The one sacred essence of life. This is our intention. For the peace, the true peace, the sacred essence of the divine to be manifest on this planet. May we be an instrument of that peace as we travel the year ahead. May peace be our purpose. Take your hands now and place them over your heart and bring this transmission of peace into the center of your own physical body. With a sense of gratitude for just this moment here and now as we collectively connect in a field of love. Take another very deep breath in. A long breath out. Thank you. Shanti. Thank you. Now open your eyes and see how you feel in this moment. How do you feel? Let us know in the comment section if you feel a bit more centered, a bit more real, a bit more alive. Thank you all for being here.
Happy New Year to everybody. It's a few days late, but still feels like it's right at the beginning of the year. So hopefully you've had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest, and you're ready to begin again the new year. And obviously this is the calendar year. It's not the energetic new year, but it's the calendar year. So we're just
What's happening in the heavens?
Well, there's a lot happening this year in the heavens. So
what's happening tonight in the heavens? Anything of interest?
No, it's not. There's always things happening, but I prefer to focus on the bigger cycles. So we've just had a new moon, which is a new beginning of a lunar month, But really importantly this year, we just called it Navigating 2025, because it does feel like it's a year of change. We always say that, but this year particularly. So in astrology we have cycles, and we have different planets that move in different speeds, and they go through the zodiac, and it takes a certain amount of time for each planet to go right round. And this year we've got 3 of the outer planets changing signs. That's a big deal for astrologers. So just to explain that in English, and so we can sort of grasp what that means, is that 2 of these planets, Saturn and Neptune, have been in the sign of Pisces, which is the final sign of the zodiac, and they're both moving into Aries, which is the beginning sign of the zodiac this year. And they'll be briefly, so they'll be there for a few months, and then they'll move backwards, and then permanently in 26. So it's endings in the sense that they're ending cycles, and beginning a cycle is sort of giving us a little bit of an idea of things to come, and then they'll go back into the old sign again, and then come back again next year. So those are 2, and then Uranus, which is also an outer planet, which takes 84 years to go around, is also moving into a new sign. And as we know, Pluto has just moved into a new sign. So that's a lot of new energy. And a lot of the new energy that we're going to be experiencing, we've never experienced before, because these planets have not been in these signs, some of them, in our lifetimes. So like Pluto has never been in Aquarius for our lifetimes. Uranus has never been in Gemini. Uranus has for some of us, if we're very old. Neptune's never been in Aries for our lifetimes. So it's kind of the unknown as well. So I'm just seeing it as a year of endings and beginnings, ending cycles and beginning cycles, letting go of really old cycles for humanity, for individually, for our planet, for the way we are on our planet, for the way we interact with ourselves and others. It's a very big cyclical change. And then numerologically, which I'm not a numerologist, it's a 9-year. 2025 adds up to 9. So that is also the end of the cycle. So it's a lot pointing to that. And then also we've started the new moon with the new year with Mars retrograde. Mars is the forward motion planet, and it's retrograde. So a lot of people are feeling that the energy of the new moon, they're wanting to get going, but they don't necessarily have the energy to get going right now, because there's a feeling of pulling back a little bit and revisiting old patterns, possibly revisiting family stuff that might be coming up for you in the next couple of months. So there's a lot going on.
Revisiting family, what is that?
Family patterns, family. I just see this as a year also where the veil, we often speak about the veil being lifted. And we speak about it often in terms of, well, many people speak about it in terms of the veil of ignorance, or things that we haven't seen before now being revealed. But that's not just in the outer world, it's within us as well. So the veil is being lifted in terms of our illusions about ourselves and how we react, how we respond, as well as the world around us. So the illusions are being revealed this year. And I think there's going to be a lot of unusual activity, whatever that might mean. Unexpected. Yeah. I would say be prepared for the unexpected this year.
Alien invasion.
Who knows?
Yeah, so hold on to your seat, put your seatbelt on, and be prepared to release the old belief patterns, ideas, and certainties that we've had. Be open. And the beauty of this time of change and endings is that the old patterns, which perhaps might have limited our expansion and our growth, are being, first of all, brought into our awareness of what those old patterns are, but then we've been given the opportunity to release them, to let them go, by surrendering to the isness of whatever arises in our particular life situations or life streams at the moment, this year, as we move through it. So there's great opportunity in the chaos, for new order to come in. Because the new can't be born of the old. The old has to die before the new can be born. And I know death is the physical death and the human experience is one of the hardest things for us humans to navigate. And that is difficult when it comes to death of careers or death of relationships, etc., etc. So, and death of ideas is a particularly big one. So we know that death is difficult for humans, but it is part of the cycle of life. And so to navigate this year ahead, I'm going to suggest that we need to step more into our being self and less attachment to the human self, because death is very painful for the human, but for being, it doesn't exist. In being, there is no death. Death only applies to that which is born. That which is born dies. But the being that we are, which is that vertical plane of presence, is not born and therefore does not die. So in standing on a rock of more solidity compared to the shifting sands of time, that rock is presence. And as we stand on that rock of presence this year, so we will be able to deal with the comings and goings on the human plane of time and situations and circumstances. So relationships might come, relationships may go. Even within the political arena, there's going to be a great uncertainty in that area as well. And that's fine if you're attached to a particular viewpoint, a particular political party, etc., or you're looking for a savior outside of your divine essence to help you. You may be disillusioned in those. So it's greater, I believe, greater importance this year to step into that which doesn't change, that which doesn't die, and then look out into the world of change from that solid place of certainty. The Course in Miracles says nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists, and therein lies the peace of God. And in the opening meditation we spoke about that peace. That peace comes from presence. It doesn't come from the form of life being a certain way. It comes from direct connection to life itself. Life, the forms that life manifests through, yes, they're born and they die. But life itself is energy. It doesn't get created and cannot be destroyed. And as we start to know ourselves as that, so we are not as vulnerable to the processes in the human dimension of birth and death and trauma and turmoil and uncertainty, which obviously when we're attached to situations being a certain way and we resist those changes, always brings about a certain level of suffering within us.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of the death of possibly ideas, perceptions, beliefs. It's almost that we've got to hold a space for those things to die, because everything's changing so fast. And you might have a very clear understanding or perception about something that you're absolutely convinced of. My suggestion is that you hold that very loosely this year, because you might find that that's just not true. And so the other part of the energy is that energetically we're entering into actually a very masculine phase, because all these planets are actually moving into masculine signs. And masculine energy is the outward, forward momentum energy. So that's why most people sort of that are talking about the energies this year are saying that this is a year of fast motion. And it's almost like I get that it's like a hustling energy. It's sort of that hustling, what do I need to do next, and how are we going to do it, and how should we move forward? There's that sort of urgency about it, because it's literally happening, it's starting to happen. And I'm going to just say that the way to deal with that hustling energy is to actually slow down and not to step onto that crazy, very fast spinning wheel, which we might find gets faster as we really get into the year, January, February. It's going to start getting faster. So it's not to scare anybody. It's nothing unforeseen. We've all been around these cycles before, but there's quite a lot of that. So there's an exacerbated kind of forward motion energy. And so it's that You know, we often think that we've got to push forward to make things happen. And we were just talking about it yesterday. The energy of, for example, abundance actually happens from a slowing down energy. So when you slow down and you're relaxed and you're connected with that beautiful deep root of presence, you're in abundance. When you're hustling and trying and pushing and shoving, you're not in abundance, you're in scarcity and lack. So it's just, I think it's just something also that we're going to be working with this year is, am I in scarcity, which means that I'm pushing and striving, or am I in acceptance and sort of that more mature sense of, right, let's see what has to unfold and then act on what I need to act on. But it's a change. There's a changing of the guard. It's like changing energy.
Yeah, it is definitely this year we're going to see huge changes in that area. And just as a reminder, we've spoken many times before about this. There are two paths opening up at the moment for us. The path that we have been on for a long time as humans on this planet has been the path of fear. Fear has underwritten most of the world that we've experienced. The fear of scarcity, which you mentioned just now, the fear of punishment, for example, is another one. And that acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. You know, if you don't do this, then you're going to go to hell. For example, has been an energy that permeated most religions. You know, you have to listen to us and do it this way, because otherwise it's going to be severe consequences for you when you die. And that has motivated a lot of people to be good religious people because of that fear of punishment. But unfortunately, all of that is feeding the old path of manipulation, fear. And the new path that's opening up for us is love. And love is not about, as you said, hustling. It's not about pushing. It's more about being in the flow of life and allowing life to unfold through you and opening up to your true creative intelligence and true creative ability as a divine spiritual being, and allowing that creativity to flow through you rather than trying to manipulate and control the world around you so that you can feel safe. Because the energies of fear will perpetuate more fear, more uncertainty. And while fear promises you that if you do this and do that, you're going to be okay, it's a lie. Fear promises you everything and delivers you nothing. Love, on the other hand, doesn't promise you anything. Doesn't promise you security, not at all. But ultimately, that is the reward for following the path of love, which is acceptance, which is allowing, which is appreciation, which is the path of gratitude. All of that gives you what you are looking for on the path of fear, but it can never deliver that to you. So this is really a choice moment to moment in our lives. Are we in this moment making choices from fear, or are we making them from the alignment with the divine essence of life, which is love? And that really is a moment-to-moment choice that we're making. And obviously, the more choices we make in the direction of love, the more we are going to feel those feelings of security which arise from making the so-called right choices in life. And the more we choose the path of fear, so I believe we're going to be met with more and more challenges, more and more difficulties in our life. And the old way of dealing with difficulties was either to fight them, to resist them, or to try and work out mental strategies for dealing with them. And none of those are going to work. I believe that the path ahead has to be navigated with a huge level of trust. Not trusting your mind or trusting your needs and wants, but trusting the intelligence called life to always put you in the right place with the right people, with the right resources at the right time. That trust is a fundamental ingredient in the process of awakening. There can be no awakening without trust. But it's to define that trust is not trusting in your egoic insecurities. It's trusting in the divine essence of being, of life itself. That you are, in fact, abundant. That you are, in fact, love, that you are in fact always in the right place at the right time, giving up the resistance to life and allowing life to flow through you. Using your creative abilities and your skills, yes, so you're not just sitting back and doing nothing, but you're doing it in subservience to that flow of life, to that intelligence that we call life, always trusting that life will lead you exactly where you're meant to go. And for most humans, they believe that they're in charge of the universe. If it wasn't for me, the egoic human, then the sun wouldn't even know to rise tomorrow. Thank goodness that I'm in control. And unfortunately, that illusion is going to be challenged this year, because no, your ego is not in control and never has been in control. And it's to align our will with the greater will of life, and know that there is a bigger intelligence that does get the sun to rise, irrespective of your egoic wants and desires. Life happens through us, and gratitude is that energy of surrender to the isness of whatever is unfolding in our life right now.
Now, you mentioned a few words there, flow being one of them, resistance being another. So when we're in resistance, we are not in flow. So as soon as we resist, we are blocking the flow of life, literally. So it's just quite an interesting observation to see when we're actually in resistance and when we're in flow. When we're in flow, we are opening. It's like gratitude is also an opening energy. Gratitude is, I'm open, I'm grateful, I'm in flow, I'm flowing, I'm flexible. Flexible is another word for this year. Be flexible. Yeah. Don't be too stuck on any one way of something working out, because there's very likely to be things that happen that are curveballs.
Yeah.
So the more flexible that we can be, the more we can be in flow. The more resistance we put up, the less we can be in flow. It literally shuts us down. So every time we go into resistance, we're pushing away, we are shutting our energy down. So it's just to know that. And then to consciously, it's fine if we do that, but it's to be aware of it and then actually bring it back and actually open. So just remember that, open, close. Am I opening? Am I closing? So I think that's those are sort of guidelines for the year. The resilience is really important. Resilience of what John was talking about earlier, anchoring our energy in something much deeper than the shifting sands of what's going on around us, because they're going to be shifting fast. There's going to be energy. There's going to be communication overload. I mean, one of the things that's happening this year is Uranus, which is the planet of change, is moving from an Earth sign, being Taurus, to Gemini, which is a mutable air sign, which is very fast and very busy. And there's going to be a lot coming to light with technology and AI and all of that. I think this world is going to change in ways that we don't even see yet. And so it's not to be nervous of change, it's actually to embrace it, because it's happening. It's not going to happen. Because when I say change to people, they go, oh, what's going to change? Because we all, on some level, in the human realm, we're kind of attached to things staying the same. But they don't. They can't, because everything's constantly in motion. So the more resilient we can be in terms of our inner sort of taproot, that inner part of us that's grounded in something more stable, then the more we can actually withstand the winds of change. And we are in the winds of change. And it's not wrong, it's good, it's right. Yeah. The old has to die in order for this new to be born.
Yeah, the mind, the egoic mind, loves predictability. It uses its intelligence to try and strategize so that it knows for certain what's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah. But it's rather a paradox, because at the same time that the mind loves certainty, certainty is actually very boring for the mind. Predictability is boring. So it wants it and it doesn't want it at the same time. But it's a step out of that. And one thing you've spoken about before is the analogy of bamboo. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, just, the bamboo plant is one of the strongest plants and sturdiest plants in the world. I mean, they use bamboo to make scaffolds and buildings. And it's
If
the
you've been
reason
to
it's
if you've been to
in
Hong
China,
Kong,
Hong Kong, hey,
you see these multi-story buildings, and the
made out of
the
bamboo.
scaffolding is all made out of bamboo.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing because it's hollow, and
Mm.
it also takes many years underground for that bamboo to actually build up its strength before it pops out of the ground. And then when it pops out of the ground, it's already very strong. And so if you look at the bamboo, it's hollow, but it's incredibly strong because it's flexible and it moves. So that's why they can do the scaffolds from it, because they don't crack and break because they're not rigid.
Not fragile.
And so that's, for me, that's an analogy of flexibility, is be like the bamboo. Allow yourself to be open with a channel for energy to move through you and to bend when you need to bend, so that you can actually bend with the change as opposed to getting stuck and broken
Snapping, yeah.
and snapping.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And that
Be like
emptiness
the bamboo.
inside is very frightening for the ego. What drives most personalities is the avoidance of that emptiness on the inside. Most people go into relationships to avoid the emptiness on the inside. Most people go into careers to avoid that feeling of nothingness. I don't want to be a nothingness. I want to be a PhD XYZ or a CEO of this or that company. I want to achieve that. And that negates the true essence of what we are, which is the emptiness of being. Because being has no substance. It's not a form. It's a formless state. And that emptiness inside the bamboo is the formless. It represents the formless in this analogy. And meditation is absolutely vital this year for reconnecting to that emptiness on the inside. In that emptiness, there is the fullness of life, because in that emptiness, the emptiness is life itself. It's that energy of life. The form might not be there. It might be empty of form, but in that emptiness is a sacred, pregnant energy of life, waiting for new form to be born through it.
Mm.
And it's really important this year, I believe, to navigate the stresses and strain that will be put on the personality and on the mind in the amount of change that we're going to be navigating, for us to come back on a regular basis to meditation. And meditation just means no mind. It's a space, it's the emptiness between our thoughts. That's what meditation is. To come back to that emptiness in the center of that bamboo, to come back to that sacred emptiness in this moment, here and now, because this moment is that. It is that emptiness. And that, I believe, that inner resilience of alignment to our true essence is what's going to get us through this year with a level of serenity and peace and also sanity. Our signal dropped unfortunately there, but we are back with you now. So really apologize for all of those that lost connection. Maybe some of you will rejoin us.
Yeah, I think maybe it's time to finish off anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you are getting this, we'll do a short meditation to lead out.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
And also just an ad for our upcoming Journeys course. If you're interested in joining us for a 13-week journey of transformation, which will definitely give you many tools for the year ahead, then go to our website, journeysofawakening.com, and you can find all the details there. And then we also have an online community called Inner Space. And we're meeting up there live on Tuesday. On Tuesday. And you can join us for the month if you want. And it's an open forum of discussion. This month we are talking about
the year ahead.
Yeah, about the year ahead.
How to navigate the year ahead.
Yeah. So if you want to join us there in an interactive session Tuesday night, just join. Go to journeysforawakening.com and you can sign up for Inner Space there as well. It's not a course. It's just a community of awakening people on awakening.
Yeah, and the Journeys of Awakening course that we're starting on the 5th of Feb is going to, the first week is called Vision 2025. So it's a free week. So you're welcome to join us free for that. So you can register there very easily on our website, journeysofawakening.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to just select a card there?
Let's do that.
So part of the process of transformation is to rewire our brain, because our brain is a receiver of information, receives information very selectively most of the time through the filters of the past. And one of the ways of changing those filters through the power of affirmation. So we have a whole lot of cards. Just show them on the camera. A whole lot of cards. And Michelle has just pulled one out, which is a very powerful one, very beautiful one. It's a violet card, crown chakra. So that's what Michelle is going to use in the meditation. And I'll take a photograph and put it up onto the Facebook page. And it'll definitely help you navigate and realign your awareness with the vertical plane being.
Okay. All right, just settling in, making yourself even more comfortable than you were. Taking a beautiful deep breath in, and then a long, slow releasing breath out. You might breathe through your mouth as you breathe out, as if you're blowing through a straw. So deep, beautiful breath in, all the way up from the belly, all the way up to the chest. Hold for a moment, and then blowing the energy out slowly, slowly, slowly through your mouth. And on each out breath, you're releasing more and more, softening more and more. Dropping into presence, into this moment. Allowing the outside world to recede. The thoughts, the concerns, the anxieties, the doingness. Just putting that all aside, just for a few moments of pause. And what we're suggesting is that you bring this active pausing into your life more and more. So as we pause, we notice the air coming in through the nose and leaving through the mouth or through the nose. We notice the temperature of the air as it enters and exits. We notice the temperature of our bodies, the temperature of the air around us, how it might be touching our skin. We notice how our body is touching the surface that we're sitting on or lying on. Where in our bodies, on our bodies, our clothes are touching. We become aware of what we can smell and taste in this moment. We bring awareness to what we can see, either through open eyes or closed eyes. With no judgment or no labeling, just noticing, what can I see? And what can I hear in this moment? What's the strongest sound that you can hear? Again, just noticing, not entering into any story about it at all, just noticing, becoming aware. Now noticing as you've been through this awareness process, that you are now implanted firmly in the present moment. Thoughts might come, and just acknowledge them and then bring your attention back, possibly to the breath or to the sounds that you can hear. Just allowing this presence, this peace, to grow and expand outwards, so that it fills your entire body and then fills the space around your body as well. And from this space, our card for the night, and possibly for the year, is I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. I am enlightened and I radiate peace into the world. Just really feeling that peace inside you. And knowing that whatever is happening in your outer world, whatever is happening in your inner world, there is always this peace at the core of our being. It is always accessible to us if we pause and connect with it. So we set an intention as we enter into 2025 to consistently release that which no longer serves us, to be open to the flow of life, to release our resistance, and to be the peace that we want to see in the world. Taking a deep breath in now, and a long out breath. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes.
Thank you. That's lovely. That was beautiful. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Sorry about the poor signal. We do have a lot of cloud on the mountains, and I think that's probably distracting the signal.
So.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Those on In the Space, we'll see you on Tuesday night. Otherwise, we'll catch up with you in 2 weeks' time.
Lots of love.
Take care.